to another episode of Applied Salesforce. In this episode, we shall look at an intermediate level requirement from upquotient.com, a career builder, transformer, and an amplifier company. And this one is specifically from Kali. So the requirement is described this way. Projects are related to opportunities in a 1:m relationship. The business would like to have an intuitive way for its sales to create and associate projects inside opportunity detail page, avoiding unnecessary navigation and button clicks. Projects have to be quickly created and associated to the opportunity in context. So the ultimate outcome of this requirement is within the opportunity detail page, you need to have a project tab and a wizard of this sort, which by default displays the name of the opportunity in context, then the project name, type. So there are multiple types. It's a pick list again, the start date and end date, and a little bit of validation here. The end date should not precede the start date, sort of thing, and the fixed bid checkbox and the amount field. So this amount field should be dynamically displayed. It's conditionally displayed based on whether the project is a fixed bid or not. If it is a fixed bid, the amount becomes mandatory, displayed and mandatory. If it not, the amount field is not displayed and hence it should not be made mandatory. Okay, so this is the outcome which is desired. I've just created the flow and I will walk you through that, and then in the second part of this episode we shall see how to configure the tab, then project the flow inside of this tab, and we will test it. Okay, so let's dive in. Okay, so this is a flow, a very simple one. The screen flow, the first is the screen component where details could be placed, and even before that, the first step is to create a custom object called project, and with the fields. You could say the project name, it's the standard name field, then the type. So type is a pick list field with values, app launch, AI powered, implementation, maintenance, and support. Then comes the start date and end date. Okay, and the checkbox field, which is the fixed bid, and the currency field, which is amount. Okay, so that's what you have placed. So this is the screen component, and then within the screen component you have two sections. The first section is named project details, has project name, project opportunity name. Yeah, so the project name, type, start and end date, and this is the second section where it's named fixed bid and currency details, fixed bid checkbox and the amount. And the interesting thing here is I was not able to use the project variable, record variable, because of that particular feature does not support the currency field. So we have this currency field here. Okay, so that's for that reason I'll have to drop component by component. Let's say the text for the project name, and pick list for pick list for the type, and date for start and end date, checkbox component, and the currency component. Okay, so this is the old-fashioned way of doing things. Okay, so let's look at the opportunity name. So the opportunity name is in fact a lookup component. Okay, you drag and drop the lookup component and you fill up the attributes. So I named it as the labeled it as opportunity name, that you find it here, and the field API name. So you could see this here, the API name of a lookup field on the source object. So always when you see the source object, it is the object that on which you are configuring. Okay, so the project, the source object here is the project. So it looks for the API field API name. Okay, so the lookup field API name. So lookup field, the API name of the lookup field. So this is primarily your the opportunity lookup. So opportunity underscore underscore C. So that's one important thing. The second is the object API name. It is again the source object. So the API name of your custom object, which is project, it's project underscore underscore C. And this is so interesting. So record ID. So what it requires is the row ID of the opportunity. Okay, so the row ID of the opportunity. So we will see how the row ID of the opportunity can be fed. If you look at this, right, so you're on the opportunity page, and UpQuotient has this particular opportunity has a row ID. That row ID has to be passed into the flow. Okay, and if you want to pass something into the flow, inside of the flow there should be some variable which is defined as input, which receives the opportunity ID. Okay, and with the help of that opportunity ID, you are able to default the name of the opportunity, right? So that's the input field. Okay, so that's an input variable, not the field, it's an input variable that you define. Okay, so you could that's, let's say I close this, that's the variable I have defined. I could see the record variable, the input variable. This is the input variable. Let me edit and show it to you. So IP OPPID var. So this is a user defined name. So input variable to hold the ID of the opportunity, which gets passed while configuring the screen component in the opportunity detail page. It's of type text, and this is important, available for input. Okay, and that is what you are projecting here. Yeah, so enter the details, right? So opportunity name. Okay, so other things are straightforward. It's a text field, and the pick list, you need to configure the Picklist Choice Set. Okay, it's the Picklist Choice Set that I've configured. I can show you how this is done. So you have Picklist Choice Set configuration, which essentially points to the picklist field. Okay, object, it's on project, data type is picklist, and this is the type, is the API name of the picklist field in project underscore underscore C component, project underscore underscore C object. Okay, and this is the screen component. And you could also see the validation. You could say end date. I've just added a validation here. Okay, end date should be greater than equal to start date. So you can decide how the validation should be configured for other fields. And importantly, the amount fields, right? So if you look at amount field, it should be conditionally displayed. So if fixed bid is checked, it should be conditionally displayed. So it's very simple. You can look at the set component visibility, and you say that fixed bid equals the true. If fixed bid equals true, then just display the amount field. The amount field is marked as required at the UI level. Okay. Okay, so that's the first part, and the second is straightforward, creation of the project. It's a create component database operation. The object, the instance of which object, it's a project object to create, and from these are the project fields, the end date, project name, start date, and type. So all these are fed into the fields through the screen component. Okay, so from the screen you have already had all these values entered, so you put that. And this, the opportunity, this is the foreign key field, the relationship field on the opportunity on the project object. Okay, pointing to the opportunity. Okay, you could see this, and you have the row ID of the opportunity fed into the input variable. So this is very crucial, else you would have the project created, but it would never be associated or linked to the opportunity in context. Okay, so this is another key factor. And any DML operation or email sending should be associated with a fault path. And this is logging the exceptions, errors if it is raised. It's a custom object created, and you log the details from your flow into these custom object fields. Okay, and you expose this as a tab so that the admins and allow admins permission on those to see if any corrective measures could be taken, and also to understand the health of the overall system. So this is what it is done, and I'm going to activate this now. So once this is activated, we would see how this could be placed inside of the opportunity detail page. I can click on any opportunity here, probably maybe edge emergency generator opportunity. I can edit the page to place the tab component. So search for the tab component, tabs component. Okay, so you don't need the tabs here, you already have one. Okay, so you can add a tab, click here, and select custom. Okay, and label could say project. Okay, and click on done. Okay, so now click on the project tab and look for the flow component. Drag and drop the flow component. Okay, and I could say one item, one column, and look for the flow. Okay, create and link project. You could say this, the flow, and you could see IP op ID var. Okay, so this it is available here inside of the app builder, Lightning app builder. The reason being, you have marked this particular variable for input, and all you have to do is pass the record ID into this variable. The record ID is the ID of the opportunity, which is the parent here. So all you have to do is to check this checkbox. Okay, and click on save. And this is the first time, if this is the first time you are modifying the page, it asks for activation. You can click on activate, and maybe probably I'll go with the org default, assign as org default, and save. All right, so you can go back and start testing. Okay, so it's any opportunity. You can drill down on any opportunity for testing. Maybe a gene point. Let's look at gene point. You have the project tab here. So click on the project tab, and this should automatically get populated. Excellent. That's because of the lookup component inside of the screen. Let's say gene point is looking to implement a Salesforce SFA, and type is implementation, and start date they plan to start be September 6th, and end date is September 30th. Sorry, this is October, maybe September 8th. That's a validation. Okay, and you could see this, it's fixed bid. If it is fixed bid, I wanted the amount should be it is mandatory. So let's say 300,000 for the project. Okay, I click on create and I would like to see the project created and linked. Okay, and let's look at the related and see if the project is created. Yes, indeed, the project is created. You could see that here. Implementation SFA. Okay, and I see some discrepancy. Probably that is because create project. Okay, so you could see that there is a flaw here. I did not capture the fixed bid and the amount. That is because we missed out the adding this field. So let's add that now. So fixed bid and amount. So fixed bid comes from your screen flow, fixed bid, and the amount again from the screen flow. So the screen component, it's not, yeah, in the flow. Okay, screen, and save as a new version. Click on, it's good to always add the details. Okay, and let's activate it. Okay, all right, activate, because for each version you should know why you created the new version. Okay, all right, so let's go back to the opportunity, details related to an opportunity, and let's edge emergency generate anything for that matter. I think we don't have a project. Okay, currently we don't have a new project, so let's have that. I will say support. Support. Okay, we had implemented Marketing Cloud. We are looking at some support project. Start date is let's say September 6th, and it is going to end October, November, December. Okay, December 31st. It is again fixed bid because we wanted to test that how they go, and it's only 200,000 Indian rupees. Create project. Let's see if the project with all the details are created. Support marketing. Here we go. So we have the project created. Okay, so this is pretty intuitive, and that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. Thank you. Bye bye.